Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Emmanuel. Can you hear me?
Yes, and you?
Okay, perfect. Yes, I can hear you well. Thanks very much for joining to this month's Technology Transfer webinar. Today's webinar's key question is how to effectively deploy augmented reality solutions in various enterprises. But before our experts Emanuele Borasio's presentation, I would first like to give the floor to Luca Escoffier, the project manager of the EU-Japan Technology Transfer Help Desk. Luca, over to you.
Hello, hi, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly. Go ahead.
Perfect, excellent. So welcome everybody. Good morning, Eva. Good morning, Emanuele. Good morning for the participants that are already here and those that are coming in the next few minutes. I would like just to spend, as usual, a minute or two to introduce the services of the help desk and then provide a bio of today's speaker. So the EU-Japan Technology Transfer Help Desk, for those that do not know, the initiative is indeed a project of the EU-Japan Center. It's mainly run in the Tokyo office because that's where I am. And as you can see from the slide here, these are the contact details to get in touch with me. So you have my email. You can have access to the website where we have lots of resources, videos, presentations, and articles, podcasts. So all the things that you as an SME might need if you're looking for resources about technology transfer. And also we run a database of available technologies that is collecting technologies from universities and research centers from Europe and Japan. And the last link that you see in the slide down there is the link to the newsletter. If you're not registered yet, please do so, and just click on the link if you can, or otherwise just copy the link and please do subscribe to our newsletter. Without further ado, I would like to introduce today's speaker, Emanuele Borasio. He's a professional from Italy, a good friend, is the CEO of an Italian company where, or we are, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Actually, Emanuele will probably tell us the right way to do it. So Emanuele was originally born in New York, so in the U.S. He's also Italian. He's an Italian citizen, living and working in Italy. After an academic experience at the University of Ferrara as a contract professor of satellite remote sensing and geographic information systems, he was one of the founders of one of the very first spin-off companies of the University of Ferrara called Geotema, that was originally started in 2004. And then after the introduction of wearable technology devices like smart glasses, smart watches, etc., these all encouraged and led the team to develop new approaches to the use of augmented reality, in particular in support of industrial applications. And therefore, in 2014, they founded this new company. It is an Italian startup that is focused on B2B applications in augmented reality and mixed reality. That started the activities. Without taking more time from the presentations of Emanuele, Emanuele, I would leave the floor to you. Welcome, and please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Luca. And thank you for everyone. I want to tell you some experience concerning the real use of augmented and mixed reality in B2B application. So the first purpose is a short introduction to AR, and then we will see how to create a project allowing a company to create and share a user manual via augmented reality tool. I have also a case study, an important energy company here in Italy that is still using augmented reality since last year. So there is a lot of confusion concerning virtual reality, augmented reality, and the new theme, mixed reality. Virtual reality is an immersive environment. You can see the real world around you. So the device produce a all virtual world and you can interact. In business-to-business application, to blind a worker, to blind an employee, is not considered work for industrial purpose. It's very dangerous in environment like energy plants or facilities, using robots, for example, where there is interaction with machinery and robots. So AR is the best solution because AR produces an overlay over the real world. You have your perception, your sight, and on the site you can see augmented instruction, how to work. The new feature, the new possibilities by the new technologies like smart glasses, such as Microsoft HoloLens, can generate a real interaction between the virtual part and the real part. So imagine to look at a machine, a car, and see the real part of the machine with an added virtual part explaining you how to operate. So the main goal, the main purpose in augmented reality usage is to create a perfect human-computer interaction. In the future, we will see also contact lenses with important information directly on our site. So this is a very important part of Industry 4.0. The augmented reality, mixed reality, and smart glasses are one of the keywords concerning the impact of new technologies with the potential benefits in this important field. In particular, there's a lot of POC, proof of concept, involving the use of smart glasses in every important corporation in all over the world. But all of this has one important goal, so increase performance, increase productivity, and driving down cost. So the problem concerning productive environments are human error. So you can create important benefits using a virtual assistant consisting in smart glasses or mobile application following the user during his tasks. There are also inefficiencies due to wrong tools or inadequate training, and also the cost of translation or the cost of longer operation and recurring errors. There is also in literature some important studies concerning the performance. There is a business review from Harvard that suggests improvement up to 50%. In particular, Boeing has highlighted a 25% improvement of productivity during wiring harassment assembled during the construction of their planes. And in particular, General Electric has a review an improvement up to 32% concerning the use of smart glasses during a workflow. So, how to use and where to use smart glasses, augmented reality during operation. The first use is a step-by-step guide, imaging a worker wearing a smart glass and a virtual guide with 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, following all the operation. The second one is remote assistance during maintenance. So there is a sort of remote assistance following your steps. Also training. You can cut cost of training using virtual rooms to explain how to do a task. Some users use smart glasses and augmented reality during quality control. You can point at your device, smart glasses or mobile, to check if the production site or the product is well constructed, is finished, etc. Also, safety management. So, in order to reduce risk and to create safety for all operators. And there is a sort of collaboration during design when a product is designed, and so you can see whole the phase of design also in different countries. The market is very important and is constant rise. This is a very important thing. Augmented reality and mixed reality in business-to-business application begins about 10 years ago with a little POC in important countries. But now, where in this year in particular, a part of SDK and application were released by the major companies, software companies like Apple, like Google. So companies can use SDK to produce their own content. In particular, the enterprise AR in red in this graphic is a part of the entire market of augmented reality. As you can see, is very huge, and enterprise consider a cost, a sustainable cost for the next years. Why is important AR for Japan and for Europe? Japan is a pioneer country in AR. In particular, they have developed a very famous kit called AR Toolkit from Nara Institute of Science and Technology. Now, this kit was bought by an important smart helmet manufacturer called Dakri. It has a very important and ready to the market business to business smart helmet, and this is one of the first ready SDK to use augmented reality also for business to business purpose. The second consideration is there is a lot of manufacturer of smart glasses in Japan. In particular, the first one is Epson Moverio on the left. This is the first commercial augmented reality smart glass on the market. First of also the Google Glass. Google Glass was a device sample for developers. Epson Moverio was a real use on the market smart glasses based on Android. Also, Sony produced 2 years ago their own smart glasses, and this technology is now embedded with other manufacturers. In particular, in Italy, we have a manufacturer of smart glasses called Unibet. They use Sony technologies. But in Europe, we have the market. Also, important brands uses augmented reality to support sales, to support marketing, ADVs, etc. For example, all the Audi, FC, Fiat Chrysler Corporation, also IKEA and Lego Bricks uses augmented reality app for their customers. And in particular, we have medical farm using augmented reality to improve production. Also for entertainment, gaming, you see also Lego Bricks as a gaming to link the virtual part of the game with the real bricks. Also in defense, augmented reality is keen with head-up displays, virtual representation in aerospace sector in particular. Also, we have medical instruction for operation during operation, and tool for training and maintain and repair a product. The last step is navigation. There's an improvement of indoor navigation to follow a worker during inside task in facilities. So, what is missing in AR world? Because not in this year, not every company is adopting augmented and mixed reality. There's a problem concerning how to create content. The content is created by engineering software developers, so it's very difficult to create the content by your own. So it's missing an authoring tool, a sort of PowerPoint to create augmented reality content. So, in my experience, this miss item is a very important thing, and we have developed a software called Marko to create and share a user manual without any skill. It's very simple to use. I have a video here. Eva, can you... Eva, thanks. How to create augmented content with Marko. So take a picture of a real object with your mobile. This is an example with an electronic board, and then insert in the system. So you can create overlays, just drag and drop information from the left to the right, the center of the screen. You can add information over the real item. This is the creation tool, very simple. When have you done, just upload to the cloud, and the results is that you can see with your mobile phone. Just launch the application, select the project. This is the electronic board project. Scan the real item to see the overlay content. So it's a very, very 1.0 tool to start using augmented reality in your company. And it can be used by unskilled people, for example, senior people that knowing the industrial process in the company. So the second one is that. That's a major electric company. It is called Enel. It is used also by some important customer concerning maintain, repair products. Also in the aeronautic and space, you can see on the right a cockpit of a plane, and you can see explanation for every instrument. The typical use is a control panel with virtual information on it. following a user during complex tasks. So it's very a simple to understand guide. I want to speak about a case study because Enel, the major electric company, used Marko by 1 year. They use Marko during training and also supporting operation. We have a virtual device, is an electric apparatus, you can see in the picture, and a technician see the real 3D on over the real item, and also the goal is increase productivity and reduce cost of training, obviously. In 1 year, the KPIs is the 30% in major productivity, and there is less errors during during substitution of pieces in operation. So we have also an important POC concerning Internet of Things. You can see in this image the virtual part is mixed with the real one, and the apparatus, the appliance, transmit information in real time on the site of the operator. So you can see important information inside the device, the apparatus, directly on your site. I have also another video to show concerning this sure.
In the meantime, if I can,
yeah,
Emanuele, there is a question from the audience.
Yes.
Emil is asking whether or not you can add a video.
Yes, absolutely. You can embed a video directly on the real item. 3D model, 2D overlays, but also a video. This is a short video concerning our latest POC in Enel facility. A technician during operation wear smart glasses. This is a Microsoft HoloLens. He controls the HoloLens with a gesture, very simple gesture, so also not skilled people. The workers see the 3D model directly onto the real apparatus, and see some windows with videos or explanation. So it follows step-by-step operation. The yellow dot is a part of the system. You can control HoloLens simply pointing your site with the yellow dot directly to a part to interact. So you can point and start videos, start animation, and start also audios and overlays. So it's very simple to follow instructions step by step to improve productivity. This is a POC, but next year the device will be released in a large number. For example, this is an electric scheme to explain how to repair. So mixed reality is the future. Now, unfortunately, there is
anche schiacciare il bottone.
Sorry. Mixed reality is the future. As you can see, the device is a sample for developers, not so standards with the protection, individual protection like helmet or like gloves. Maybe next year will be available on the market very important devices OEM from Hewlett Packard, from Asus, from Lenovo, more keen, more standard with B2B protection to work inside a production plant. So this is my last video, and we return to the presentation. And thank you very much for this. Thanks.
Thank you, Emanuele, for the quick but effective presentation with some examples. As usual, I would leave the floor sometime to the audience, the participants, to ask questions if they have any. Otherwise, as usual, I also have already some, because I'm always curious when I hear the presentation. So maybe while we give a couple of minutes to think about potential questions, I can ask mine first. So I was wondering if, in terms of adoption, we were talking about the European market and the Japanese market and why they're using this solution. So I was wondering whether you can provide us with more information about the adoption rate and why maybe in one region more than another these kind of solutions are more requested, or they will be deployed in the short term rather than in more time from now.
Yes, the first problem concerning a large adoption is the device himself, because there is not a professional B2B devices ready for industrial market. The devices are derived by commercial mobile smartphone, so they are not rugged. There's a problem concerning the protection of the eye. As you know, you have to wear an helmet in some facilities, also eye protection, and these the first branch of devices are all commercial B2C derived. So is a problem when you have limitation to use a B2B device. The second step is there is a lot of information to be converted in augmented content. So our tool is a very, very first step to translate paper manual in augmented reality. But the second step is a sort of auto-generated manual. So an artificial intelligence can understand the paper manual and translate in images for augmented reality. So the first.
But are you aware of kind of market information or first-hand information, because you're working on this, about the rate of adoption and maybe the problems faced by companies, if there are differences between the two regions, between Europe and Japan, since you were also visiting Japan recently?
Yes. In particular, in Europe, there are some big companies adopting augmented reality to start improvement in some specific task. For example, there's a very difficult task concerning cabling an airplane, or particular assembly line, very, very difficult for an operator to create a high quality level work. So they use augmented reality to better produce, to better improve productivity. In Japan, I've noticed a lot of augmented reality in marketing purpose and not so many in industrial plant. There's a lot of virtual reality for training people for to improve skillness, but not so augmented reality application on smart glasses.
Clear. Do you you showed a slide with the first devices, well, at least the first device you said, and anyway, there
Yes.
were two devices from basically from Japan, right? Are there any manufacturers in Europe that are also working on these solutions, or you also mentioned other names, but they were also outside of Europe. So I was wondering whether there are some European
Yes.
manufacturers that are working on the hardware.
Yes, an important player, German player, is Vuzix, and there is another player, American player called Dakri. But the Japan manufacturer are ready to market, are not samples for developers, are a real product ready to use. They use both Android, so it's very simple for a developer farm to create application. And they have a lot of experience because the first Moverio was released maybe 7 years ago. So they have a lot of experience in light transmitting, in head mounted display, in user experience. So it's very, very, very simple to use also for not skilled employee workers. Respect the European one.
Clear. Very, very last question on my side, and then I will stop. What is the, I mean, beside what you're working on, but what you know, what that is happening in the market, what is the future? So what is next?
Yes. Now the real use of augmented reality involves smart glasses. This year, the major use is via tablet and devices as a smartphone. But the problem is you have one hand occupied by the phone, the tablet. So the real use is through smart glasses. You have hands free. But the glasses, as you know, are very, very bulk, are heavy, and sometimes not compatible with helmet. So this is the first problem. The device will be in the future will be reduced in dimension, also smaller, also not so heavy, and with a battery with a long last long. So this is a problem concerning the manufacturer, and the software is already on the market. There is a lot of SDK concerning augmented and mixed reality, and there's not a problem. The problem is the device not so responding to industrial needs.
Understood. In the meantime, while we were talking, we also got a question from Emil, and I don't know if you can read the chat window. Otherwise, I will read for you.
Yeah.
So Emil is asking whether the system can detect changes in the environment, and so if something changes in the environment, if you have a different scenario.
This is a very, very important question. As you know, introducing our artificial intelligence can solve some problems. We have a POC with Enel concerning this field. So an user can point at their device to detect malfunction via AI. The software recognizes analogic instruments and imaging a red light showing a problem, showing a trouble of the apparatus. So the system detects in autonomy the problem and suggests a solution. So as you know, augmented reality will be released as also as a service. You can buy from Google, from Amazon, a piece of artificial intelligence, and you can install in your mobile or smart glasses. So the real use will be: I wear a pair of smart glasses, I I look at a device and the software recognize the trouble and tell me how to do.
Thank you, Emanuele. I don't know if Emil can hear us and can write. I don't know if that answers your question. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, if there is no other question from the audience, I exhausted all my questions. Actually, I'm sorry if I bombarded you with all the things that I asked you, but it was pretty interesting. Manuele, thanks again for being with us today. I think we learned a lot, and anyway, the presentation and the video will be posted as usual on the website of the help desk and the video on our YouTube channel. So if you want to share then the materials, feel free to do so. And I would like to invite you to the next webinar that is scheduled for the end of October. So please stay tuned and just check constantly the websites where we are going to promote the activities. And as usual, thanks again to Eva from Brussels for the help and coordination.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Luca. Thank you, Manuel.